Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. So basically today's video is going to be about some really affordable makeup brushes. So recently I posted on my Instagram that I picked up the brand new Jessup brushes. So this is a 15-piece set, and if you haven't heard about Jessup brushes, they are some really affordable brushes, and they are sold on eBay, and they are often compared to the Holy Grail Sigma brushes. So I really wanted to pick these up. I have been meaning to buy some Jessup brushes for a really long time now, and I don't know, I just never really got to buying them. When I saw that Jessup brushes came out with the brand new set with new colors and a new design, I really thought, hey, I'm finally gonna get to try these brushes out. So I'm just basically gonna go through the whole set. It is 15 pieces, and I'm just gonna tell you my likes and dislikes and what's good and bad about the set. So the first brush I'm grabbing here is the Jessup Tapered Face Brush. So this is a really nice brush. I personally like to use this to contour sometimes, and sometimes for bronzing as well. So I basically just take the brush and apply the product right around the perimeters of my face and in the apples of my cheeks, and it works very nice for that. You can see it has a pinched in and that tapered look, and it kind of just fluffs out and rounds off at the top. So I really like this, and most of the brushes in the set are super soft, so you don't have to worry about getting pricked. The next brush I have here is the Jessup Powder / Blush Brush. So I also use this to apply my bronzer. Since I have had the set, I have used it only to apply bronzer and haven't really tried it for blush yet, but I can imagine that it would work nicely for blush as well, because it is a nice size and it doesn't take up too much space, so it's not going to apply product where you do not want it on your face. The next brush I have here is the large fluff brush. This particular brush I haven't really got a lot of use out of. Unfortunately, I don't tend to gravitate to these kinds of brushes just because I find that they're really large and too big. They take up a lot of space. For me, I don't really like to use this brush. I mean, I find it's too big to apply powder or product right onto your eyelids, so I don't use it for that, but I can see it working nicely if you don't like to use your fingers to apply your eye primer and you just want to put it on and then use this brush to smooth it out. It would work nicely for that. The next little guy I have here is the Tapered Highlight Brush. This brush is basically the little guy of the bigger brush I showed you guys earlier, which is the Tapered Face Brush. So it's exactly the same kind of shape, pinched at the base here and rounded off at the top, but it's just a lot smaller. The handle is of course a little bit smaller as well. So I use this brush to do just as the brush states. I basically use it to highlight my face with my highlighting powders, and it works just fine. Next brush I have here is the Dual Fiber Powder / Blush Brush. Now, I personally am really impressed with this guy. So it's kind of like your typical dual fiber brush. It has the different kind of hairs, and it kind of just spins out at the tips. It isn't too dense, which I don't really mind. And I use it basically to apply my cream to powder kind of blushes. I have this one blush that's from L'Oreal, and it's kind of like a creamy, moussey kind of a feeling. So I don't really like to apply too much, and so I use this brush to apply that particular blush, and it works just fine. So you can also use this brush to apply those super pigmented blushes. You know, the ones that are just very pigmented and, you know, intense color, and you really don't want to look like a clown. This brush would work very well for that. Next brush I have here is the concealer brush. Now I haven't really got any use out of this brush, and that's just simply because I'm not much of a concealer girl. I don't like to apply concealers and stuff. I usually only use concealer when I am highlighting and contouring, and that's you know, once in a while when I'm going out and I really want that very flawless look. Even though this brush is different in color from the previous brushes I have showed, it still retains the softness as well. I believe this brush would be great for spot concealing. If you have acne scarring or smaller scars that you want to conceal around your face, this would be perfect for that particular application. So the next brush I have here is the large concealer brush. So it's basically the same as that last brush that I just showed you, and it's just a little bit bigger. I think it would be great for applying the concealer right underneath your eyes and blending it out, or you can also use it to spot conceal just like the previous brush. Very soft as well. It's kind of the same material as the last one as well, so I can't foresee anyone having any problems with this brush. Next brush that I have here is called the Small Tapered Blending. So this guy right here is like a small version of those other tapered brushes that I showed you, the ones that are used for highlighting and contouring, and I personally really love this brush. I used this brush today to apply my outer V color here, and it worked perfect. It was able to make the shape and just blend everything out seamlessly. This brush is also small enough if you just want to apply shadow directly in the crease and you don't want to take it into the upper crease or anywhere else. This brush works perfect for that application. So the set also comes with a blending brush, and you know, on the handle here it just says blending. I do have to say that I was really excited to see that the set had this particular brush, but when I did get it, I was kind of disappointed, simply because when I went to wash this brush, it kind of just frayed out and lost its shape. Not completely, but it did slightly, and you might be able to see it a little bit right now. This material is also very different from the other brushes. So when you look at this brush compared to this brush, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell, but this material is a lot coarser than this brush and all the other brushes. So I found that when I went to apply the product to my eye, I was getting a lot of poking and pricking, and obviously, you know, that's not really great for the user of the brush. So I personally wasn't really fond of this brush. There's also another brush that I'm going to show you right after this, which is pretty much the same thing. So this is the other brush that I'm referring to. It's the same kind of thing. This one is called the Tapered Blending Brush, and I was also very disappointed with this brush. I was excited to see that it was in the collection initially, but when I got it, this brush also frayed out and kind of lost its shape. You might be able to see this fraying out again as well, and it did the same thing as that previous brush. It just was very prickly and it just didn't work out for me. The set also comes with a flat definer brush. So here it is right here. I have used this brush and I use it to apply product right down on the bottom lash line here. I have to say it's not as fluffy as I would like it to be on the tips, just because I feel like it's so straight that it almost pricks you on the bottom, but it's not like a prick like the brushes that I was just speaking of. It's more like, oh, it's so straight that, you know, it doesn't like move with the curvature of your eye. And you know, it's just not the best flat definer brush. I personally like my BH Cosmetics flat definer brush a lot more than I like this one, so I don't typically reach for this guy right here. The set also comes with a short shader brush. So here it is right here. I do use this guy, but the one thing that I feel this set is lacking is one of the typical eyeshadow brushes. And I'm just going to show you my Sonia Kashuk 112 brush just to illustrate what I'm talking about. So when you look at the Sonia Kashuk brush versus the Jessup brush, you can see the Sonia Kashuk brush is just a little bit bigger, which makes a difference for me. I really like this size because it's just ideal for applying your lip color. This particular brush, I find that it takes a very long time to apply the lid color. So when I do grab this brush, I typically use it for applying my highlight, or if I want to apply some color into the inner tear area here. The next brush I want to show you guys here is the small eyeliner brush. So I have to say I was kind of disappointed with this one as well, and simply because I don't feel that it is as thin as it should be. If you can see it closely right here, you can see that the tip is kind of thick. And for me, that really matters because I like to wing my eyeshadow out. That is my signature look. And I feel that a brush that I use to apply my eyeliner should have a very thin tip. And I feel that that's what this brush lacks. And I'm not able to get a very precise application. Once I get to the tip here to, you know, just wing out the liner, it just starts getting thick and it does not apply very well. The second last brush I have here is the large powder brush. This particular guy I really love. It's just your typical big, dense, fluffy kind of powder brush. I pretty much use this every day. Today I used it to apply my setting powder. So, you know, I just take the brush, dip it into my setting powder, and I basically just press it into my face, and it works very nice. With this brush, because it's so big and so dense, it doesn't take me a long time to apply any of my setting powders or just any powder at all. The very last brush that came in this collection that I want to show you is actually this lip brush. And I personally thought this was really handy simply because it has this cap. So, you know, once you use the brush to apply any of the product onto your lips, all you have to do is just stick it right in here. You can throw this in your purse and it would work well because it doesn't get all over. So I think this would be great if you have any of those OCC lip tars. The brush that comes with those OCC lip tars does not have a cap to my knowledge. So this brush would work very well with those because you wouldn't have to worry about getting any product all over your purse or all over your clothes.
Alright guys, so here I just wanted to show you guys how I store these Jessup brushes on my vanity. This cup right here I just actually picked up from Dollarama. I was actually in Dollarama picking up some other things, and I thought that cup was super cute and super cool and really went with the theme of my vanity, so I picked it up just to store those brushes. And excuse the dirtiness of the brushes, I have been using them as I stated in the video. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to shoot them down in the question box down below and I'll be sure to answer them. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye!